Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. We are thrilled to welcome back Matt Turner, his wife Ashley, their 2 children, to the New England Revolution. As we can see, the son is extremely excited, as we are. A proven winner, Matt's remarkable journey includes earning the 2021 MLS Goalkeeper of the Year, MLS Best 11 honors, an MLS All-Star Game MVP, while leading us to our first ever Supporter Shield. His international accolades, including the 2021 CONCACAF Gold Cup Golden Glove winner, a 2025 FA Cup title with Crystal Palace, and over 50 caps for the U.S. men's national team, including 4 games in the 2022 World Cup, showcase his elite talent. Matt's experience competing with premier clubs like Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Crystal Palace in the English Premier League has honed his world-class skill. His unmatched energy, his incredible leadership, and his shot-stopping ability will elevate our team immediately. Welcome home, Matt.
It's good to be back. Thank you.
All right.
Nice. Got it?
All right.
Nice. Thanks.
Thank you.
It's all mine now, huh?
Yeah,
Okay.
all you.
Thanks, man. All right. You can run the room.
Yeah, so we'll take questions. Like I said, just raise hands. I'll call on you. Please identify yourself with name and outlet. We're going to start with Frank DeLappa from the Boston Globe.
Hi, Matt. Welcome back. And we all know your abilities and what I would call a winning mentality. Was it frustrating not to be able to find a starting role recently in Europe? And second part of the question is, how different is it now coming back here than it was the first time you came here in 2016?
I mean, there's a lot of change. I think first of all, you can see I have a beautiful family now. People, a bigger support group than I could have ever imagined back in 2016. So 10 years later, it's a big difference. Yeah, of course. I mean, my European adventure, it didn't go like perfectly to plan, but I did learn a lot along the way. You know, being at Arsenal, when I was there with Aaron Ramsdale, he was PFA Team of the Season. And when I got wind that David Raya was coming in, who's a 2-time Golden Glove winner since I left, I looked to make a move. I ended up in Nottingham and, had some good times, some not so good times. And they went and got Matt Sells, who ended up being a Golden Glove winner, and then got a loan to Crystal Palace. And at Crystal Palace, Dean Henderson played his first full season in 6 years. So, I had some misfortunes. I had some opportunities that I didn't make the most of as well. So it just didn't go perfectly to plan. However, like I said, I started my beautiful family over there. I have 0 regrets about my time in England. And I really loved it. So I would never shut the door on a return either. But it's good to be back here right now. And I need to find my form leading into the World Cup. And I think this is a really important opportunity for all of us.
Next, we'll go to Hayden.
Welcome back. You mentioned your European adventure, and it looked like part of that was going to include Lyon, but then obviously circumstances changed there. So I'm wondering, how quickly did a return here take shape, or maybe how quickly did that come together?
Yeah, pretty quickly. And, credit to the staff here, Kurt, Chris Tierney, Remy, monitoring my situation, keeping in touch with my agent over the years. I think for me, it was always New England. Like, it was always my home. It was always coming back here when the opportunity presented itself. And it's a good situation. It's the right time for us. I think I want to get to everyone's questions. So I think if I was to go into the whole situation of everything that happened, I would talk enough for this whole press conference to just end. So no, that's all right. So it was a trying time, and it was difficult to be in limbo for a while. And thank you so much to my parents and my wife's parents who are here today, because without them, it would have been really difficult for our family. no one feels bad for a soccer player, right? Because we make millions of dollars and it's all great and well and good, and your problems are insignificant. But to have a plan of the way things were going to go, especially with two little kids that you want to set up, get them into schools and get their health care situated and all that kind of stuff, that nitty gritty stuff that my wife has to deal with so much. And then just to be sort of left in that limbo for a while, it was difficult. And now I turn to, an extended family here in New England to take me in with open arms and let me just focus on my work and getting ready to, achieve my ultimate goal, which we all know is to play in the 2026 World Cup here in the States.
Jeff?
Jeff Lemieux, RevolutionSoccer.net. Welcome back, man.
Good to see you, Jeff.
This isn't the first time you've been back over the course of the past 3 years. You were here for the Inter Miami game less than a month ago, and when you were down on the sidelines, you got a pretty strong welcome from the fans. How much did you still feel like part of this family over the course of the past 3 years, and how much do those sorts of interactions contribute to making this feel like home?
I think for me, when I left, I never stopped being a Revolution supporter myself. This club has meant so much to me and to my family. So all the great ups and downs over the years, winning Supporter Shield, the first major trophy, I think, in club history, and all those memories, they're a lifetime worth of memories. And so, yeah, it meant a lot to us. I think we were sort of blown away by the reception. It was a last minute decision to come to that game. We were like, oh, it's happening. Why don't we go? And I reached out to Willie, who does a great job in the player care side here, and he was able to set it up. Yep, no questions asked. How many tickets do you need? And he really set our family up. And then to have to walk in front of the supporters, I was a little nervous. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm sweating already, thinking about it. And no, it's just like the way they I felt the love from them. It was special, and it's been a while since I've really felt those arms sort of around me, and yeah, it was eye-opening for sure. So it's good to be back in an environment where you're loved, but also at the same time, I'm not here. I don't want to sour any milk. I want to work. I want to continue the journey that I'm on here, and this be a huge part of launching that journey as well. And I'm not here just to parade around and be Matt Turner. And I know and I understand that this club is going through some difficult moments this season, and I want to bring that winning mentality back and create relationships that will last a lifetime with the supporters and with the guys in the locker room.
Seth?
Seth Maycomber of the Blazing Musket. Welcome back. Obviously this summer you talked about the 2026 World Cup being a big goal of yours, but this summer you weren't the starter in the Gold Cup. Can you just talk about the emotions after having over 50 caps with the national team, and why is coming back to New England and getting regular minutes the best opportunity for you to become a starter for next summer's tournament?
Yeah, obviously I was frustrated. Anytime you're a competitor and you have the opportunity to play, you want to play. But sometimes, and I had a really great conversation and multiple conversations throughout the summer with the gaffer there at the national team, and sometimes you're just in a cycle and you need somebody to help you snap out of it a little bit. And I think it took him to, sort of help me take a step back and look at things from a different perspective, because I obviously wasn't playing at my best leading into that. And I think, sometimes you just have to shake it up a little bit to help the player then launch forward and achieve what they know. What the coach knows that the player knows that they can achieve. So for me, I know what I can achieve, and with his support was massive, and he helped me to create a new perspective, create new relationships, with guys on a team that I might not have had the chance to in another sort of scenario where I was playing. And I think also just to look at things from a different side and show my leadership through a different way. And so I was grateful for the opportunity that he gave me with that sense. And now I think I can sort of see with this journey that I've been on that being in New England was the right place for me to continue to hone those skills, to create new relationships, to play games, to find my happiness in the sport. And then in turn, I can give my best to him and to the national team as well. And I think, if you look back at some of my greatest national team games, Obviously, the World Cup was amazing, but some of my greatest national team games happened when I was here playing in New England. So,
Angel?
Matt, Angel Salcido with WCBB. I want to ask you, you said you wouldn't shut the door on a return to Europe. Will you keep the door open on staying here long term?
yeah, I think the door is open for anything. Obviously, if it goes well here, I play with the national team and get consistently called in. I mean, I'm only 31 years old. As a goalkeeper, I still feel like a baby. You know, I came late to the sport, so you know, I don't feel like I have a time that I'm looking at in the future where I'm saying, yeah, this is it. You know, I feel young. And I want to just like continue to learn, continue to grow, and compete. So I would never shut the door on a long-term stay, but at the same time, I don't want to close my doors anywhere.
Caleb?
Yeah, Matt, Caleb Pongratz, Post International. Obviously, been a long time since you've been back here on the playing side. Only a couple of guys still here from when you were last here. Matt, obviously, you have Andrew, Carlos, Brandon, to name a few. How happy are you to be acclimated to get back to playing with them, but also to getting to know this new group and getting out there on the field with them?
Yeah, obviously there was a massive turnover since I left. But yeah, you know, these are guys that I'd be lying if I said I haven't talked to in the last 5 years or 3 years that I was gone. I mean, I stayed in touch with every single one of them. So yeah, when the news started dropping and they're sending me the text message with the eye emojis and wondering, and I'm saying, I just felt my hands up, like I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, no, it's good. It's good to be back with them, and you know, that means that the foundation is here for winning DNA. You know what I mean? So you know. Also, I know guys like Alex Bono I've known for years. We used to play against each other in PDL. Jackson Newell, I had some time with the national team. So it's not like a bunch of guys that I've never heard of or spoken to before. So yeah, it's great to create new relationships and yeah, start building something that the fans can be proud of.
We'll take a few more. Emma?
Hi Matt, Emma Manus with RevolutionSoccer.net. I just want to know, what were the feelings this morning as you're driving down this training center road again? And, you know, you're not just visiting this time, but you're a player again.
Yeah, it's a bit of nostalgia, of course, you know, because I was here when the training ground was built. And obviously Gillette looks a little bit different now than it used to. And yeah, it was really special. I think the biggest thing for us was when I knew I made the right decision was when the Instagram videos were dropping. And, you know, my wife and I were getting quite emotional watching it, because it's just been a while since, you know, I've been in a situation where I'm getting that feeling of that love and the support. But in reality, you know, as I'm coming down, I'm feeling like, oh, this is amazing. This is so great to be back. But then quickly it's like, okay, the coach wants to meet with you. Hitchy wants to meet with you, and you got to do all this stuff. And it's like, okay, like the parade's all good, but you got to work and you got to win. So I'm eager to get out on the pitch and close this little chapter of the book and get to work.
We're going to go to Seth and wrap up with Hayden.
You mentioned you're eager to get back on the field. There's a game this Saturday. It's alumni night, which would be really appropriate. Do you aim to be that debut, potentially?
I mean, listen, I'll let the coach make the decision at the end of the day, but I'm eager to, you know, integrate myself with the squad and show my quality to everybody and earn my place on the field.
Hayden, last question.
So obviously the club that you left in 2022, it's different now, the one that you come back into, and you know, they're in a playoff chase but are below the playoff line. I guess how much of an impact do you think you can make in the short term and in the remaining games that the team has, given that you're coming in sort of in unusual circumstances in mid-season?
Yeah, I mean, of course, I back myself to help, you know, propel this team to win games. And I've been in late playoff hunts before. I think back to 2020 or was it 2019 when we made a big change and we're able to make the hunt and get in the playoffs on a big run. So MLS has always been a league of streaks, and if we can get hot at the right time, you know, anything's possible. And you know, I'm really excited to see what we can achieve.
Awesome. Matt, thank you so much for your time this morning. Thank you to your beautiful family for joining us, and we'll let you go upstairs now.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks.